The man came to this hotel every day. He booked the most expensive room, but he never stayed there. Instead, he worked as a waiter. He would clean everything inside until spotless. Then he took out paper and pen. He quickly wrote a message. After finishing all this, he took a deep breath and went to the window. He stepped out without hesitation. At this moment, Nick was on the 48th floor of the hotel. One wrong move could cause an accident. His behavior quickly attracted a large crowd of onlookers. The police arrived at the scene immediately after receiving the alarm. They sent in negotiator Paul. Paul hoped Nick wouldn't do anything stupid, but Nick refused to communicate with him. He specifically asked to see Sheriff Lisa. If he couldn't see Lisa within 20 minutes, he would take further action. Paul had no solution for the moment. There were no fingerprints in the room, so they couldn't identify the other person's identity. Only the strange letter paper on the table remained. Lisa, who was still on vacation, heard the news. She rushed to the scene immediately. She was very confused. She didn't know Nick at all. But why did Nick insist on talking to her? It turned out that Lisa had recently handled another suicide case. She tried hard but couldn't save the person. Obviously, Nick wanted to use her popularity. When the media learned that Lisa was in charge of the incident, they immediately rushed to the scene to report. The matter received national attention. Lisa tried to talk to him, but Nick was cautious and didn't reveal personal information. During this time, he kept looking at his watch. It seemed like he was waiting for something. Lisa hoped Nick would open up, because the people below were just watching the scene. Even the police wanted to finish work early. Now the only one who cared about him was himself. Just then, Nick heard a voice in his earpiece. It turned out he had two accomplices. Carl and Ella entered the building opposite the hotel. Nick checked the time and started directing the operation. Everything was going as he expected. By now, Carl and Ella had reached the building's roof. They installed a bomb on the roof. Then they covered it with a mattress. Once everything was ready, Nick immediately made a fake jumping motion. This action instantly made the crowd below cry out in alarm. Carl and Ella took the opportunity to detonate the bomb. The cries of alarm successfully masked the explosion. Carl and Ella entered the ventilation duct of the building. Carl opened the control box to make the elevator go to the top floor. This way, they could safely reach the target floor. Then Carl took out a skateboard. Ella covered Carl with a cloth of the same color. He slowly slid across the floor. At this time, the security guards were watching the news. They didn't notice anything unusual at all. Why on earth are they doing this? Do you think they can successfully complete the plan?